I'm very lucky to share you guys one of our big client accounts. And look, I'm very transparent about what happens in our business, and we're working with one of our big clients right now who's got over 250 properties, but this is one of their client account. And I really want to show you, like, you know, if we're talking about Airbnb co-hosting, this is something that you want to understand the process behind, the earnings, the eventual. Now here is an £75,000 revenue tow-keyed account for one of our clients that we're working with. Now this is just one of their account, and they've got several tow-keyed / Airbnb account. But the reason why I'm doing today's video before we start is I want to show you what it brings as an opportunity through different platforms, right? Airbnb, tow-keyed, which is your direct bookings, unknowns, probably more repeat business they've had, the Verbo, the Expedia, and you as a Airbnb co-hosting have the opportunity of doing this kind of figures. And without further ado, guys, let's get into today's video. This is what I mean by you making money online. Now think about £75,000 in revenue. Now that's across numbers of properties, but now we're, in later on video, and especially in next video, we're going to talk about the percentage management fee or the reward that you can ask someone based on the work that you're going to do and times it by the numbers of property. This is an incredible opportunity to make money online right now in 2024, especially, how does the Airbnb process, co-hosting process work? And I really want you to think you've got landlords all over the world, literally all over the world. And as long as you've got creative strategies, this is what I'm going to discuss in our next video on how to reach out to them, how to get them, you have a perfect business model to really leverage and start working on. So guys, look, without further ado, in this video, I really want to talk about how does this process work, and let's get into it straight away. Establishing the partnership between you and the landlord, which means it's pretty straightforward. A landlord agrees for you to be a co-host in your account or in their account, and you go in and start managing numbers of things. Now, firstly, the responsibility is something that you really want to be able to draw down and actually explain before you both agree the point. But the fact that you've now got an Airbnb account which is already up and running, and you will be able to create your, let's say, a company account, and you then become a co-host to that main account. Now you will have several landlords that let's say you have 10 landlords in different parts of the world. You're literally having a co-hosting access to all of their account. So when someone looks at your listing, you will see your listings with 10 properties from different landlords, but in your account you will see across one portfolio, which is again amazing for your business. Secondly, granting the access, so that once you send the access to the landlord, and we're going to do a separate video on the exact process on how to do like the co-hosting access. Once you've asked them, they're going to accept it, and that is pretty simple. You are now a co-hosting property management company in Airbnb, right? And this is, guys, we don't want to make it too complicated. It is as simple as agreeing with the landlord, them inviting you to their account, and you, from whatever day, you will have access to pretty much most of the back-end stuff in Airbnb. Now let's talk about the reward. Now the reward right now for an online Airbnb co-hosting company, depending, because you're starting, it should be around 10% off the fee. Right now for me, it's 10% off the booking that you're going to get. Now, to be very creative, you can give them 10% off the revenue after the Airbnb fee, guys, because it depends on the model. Now, there's more videos I've done around Airbnb commission and structures and fees. But if you're in a country where there's more 3% Airbnb fee, and then you have 17 or 14%, so 3% the Airbnb host pays, 14% the guest pays. So when you looking at the search, it says Airbnb service fee and the guest actually pays that. Now it depends on how you want to structure it, but I would suggest you structure in a way where the landlord, you charge 10% on the revenue after the Airbnb fees, which is fair because at the end of the day, Airbnb is getting you the booking. However, you also want to learn this. If you now create a great short-term rental brand, if you really focus on creating the best kind of business, short-term rental business, and get direct booking, then you have the option to increase your revenue because it's direct, which means more revenue. That means you'll be able to charge more on the actual revenue cost. Moving on to guest communication and management. Now the guest comm, honestly guys, it's pretty simple as all the templates ready, right? From check-in, check-out, pre-arrival, how to get to property, and there's numbers of things that we suggest you guys put in place. And especially in GrowYourBnb, we actually work with clients through that process. But for you, it's pretty simple. You just need to understand all the processes that happens potentially while you're running that Airbnb co-hosting, from the time somebody reserves to the time somebody checks out, and you just want all the templates one place, and then later on you can actually automate it. The system also involves check-in and check-out procedure, which means a guest is about to check in, you've got to make sure you give them the best customer experience. Especially a landlord, to be honest, they're pretty tired if they haven't done it for a while, or they're getting less booking, they're less motivated, they probably haven't got a great system in place for guest comms, and probably don't even think about guest experience that much. Whereas you, as a fresh person, you could create amazing system for check-in processes, special processes, so that they really feel welcome. And especially on the checkout, 90% of landlords who are running Airbnb, they don't really have a great checkout processes, i.e. issues with keys, where the keys need to be put out, bins. There's a lot of problems that happens, and how do you make sure that you, as a Airbnb co-hosting, you need to mitigate all of that by creating great systems and processes. And the last two is literally performance monitoring and management, which means that the more revenue, or because you've got more time to sit on an Airbnb account, sit on your direct booking account, and really try and drive those little changes, which is what generally, to be honest, landlords or tired landlords right now and Airbnb tired owners are not doing. You will be able to bring that value, which means if a landlord hasn't changed their Airbnb listings for 3 weeks, you doing it on a, let's say, every other day basis, clearly shows them that you are very proactive trying to get them bookings. And trust me guys, that is what's going to get you those bookings. So really excited to share you this process of how it's actually working for Airbnb co-host. Now, like I said in the earlier video, when I showed you, what is Airbnb co-hosting, and then this video I kind of wanted to make sure that you kind of understand the process behind it. It's very, very simple. The fact that you could right now be in Bali, speaking to landlords all over the world, having those Zoom meetings, having those conversations, laying down the exact processes on how you're going to help them is going to make a huge difference on someone, especially they're willing to give that 10% margin based on the work that you're going to put in. Remember, these landlords are not paying you up front, so you have the option to be able to go to them and speak to them to say, hey, I really want to help you make more money, I really want you to do this, and this is an exciting process for you guys to take and make money online. So guys, I hope you enjoyed another episode around how the process works and how to make the online money in 2024. I'm so excited to be sharing you all of this information, which I, share with my clients on a daily basis in GrowYourBnb and Automate Your BNB. And for you guys right now, if you're learning this process, please comment down below what exactly you want to learn from what I shared today, and I would love to connect with you. Now, 2 things: we have got a WhatsApp where you can literally message me whenever you want and my team. And secondly, I've got a calendar link below. If you really want to speak to us, want to understand how it works, make sure you book this call. So guys, thank you so much for watching another GrowYourBnb video, and I'll be back with another video soon.